everybody. My name is Johanna, and it's Friday. We made it through another week, although right now the weekend doesn't really mean anything. But we're going to just kind of have a yummy practice this afternoon, doing some hip openers, getting into every nook and cranny of our body that might be tight from kind of sitting around the house, working from home, whether it's working on a computer, working with the kids, just things like that. We'll start with some breathing exercises and then go into practice. So come into a comfortable seat. You can sit onto a block if you have a block or a blanket or even a pillow. And bring your palms to your thighs and close your eyes. Just take a moment here to turn inward and to greet yourself. To greet yourself as you are, not as you think you should be. To greet yourself without any judgments, without any expectations. And just take a moment here to turn inward, to feel your breath, to feel into your body. Notice what feels tight. Notice where you're holding on to tension. And as you move through class, see if you can start to bring space and opening into those areas. Wherever you are in your breath, exhale completely. Empty your lungs. Then inhale deeply through your nose and hold it at the top. Then exhale through your mouth. Inhale deeply through your nose and hold it at the top. Then exhale through your mouth. Then inhale deeply through your nose and hold it at the top. Then exhale through your mouth. Start to slowly blink your eyes open and come into a tabletop position. I think my camera's being weird, so I'm going to readjust real quick. Bring your wrist under your shoulders, hands slightly wider. Spread your fingers wide and even. Bring your knees under your hips, hip width apart. Then on your next exhale, come into cat pose. From your shoulders, press your hands down and away. Round in your upper back. Pull your belly button to your spine as you press down through your feet and shins evenly. Then on your inhale, press into your hands. Pull your chest forward. Pull your shoulder blades onto your back. Lift your ribs away from the floor. Press your seat up towards the ceiling. Then on your exhale, bring your chin towards your chest. Grip the floor with your fingertips. Press your hands down and away as you pull your belly button towards your spine. Feel your breath. Then inhale, cow pose. Lift up through your chest. Press your seat up towards the ceiling. Pull your ribs away from the floor. Lift your chin. Then one more time, exhale, cat pose. Bring your chin towards your chest. Press your tailbone down. Round in your upper back. Claw the floor with your fingertips. Then one last time, inhale, cow pose. Lift up through your chest. Pull your shoulder blades onto your back. Lift your chin. And come into a neutral spine. Bring your big toes to touch. Bring your knees either as narrow as your hips or as wide as your yoga mat. Now do a cow pose in your chest. So lift up through your chest, lift your chin. Keep that and bring your hips to your heels. Keep lifting your chest towards your wrist. Walk your hands forward. Lift your chest one more time. Then start to bring your forehead and your nose to or towards the floor or to a block. Now crawl your fingertips up 2 more inches. Really lengthen your side body. Make sure your hands are slightly wider than your shoulders. And imagine your shoulders are like your hands. So from your shoulders, press your hands down and forward. Lift your forearms up, upper arms up, armpits up. So hollow out your armpits. Squeeze your biceps in towards your ears and keep making that action of lifting your chest towards your wrists. That's going to move your upper back in. Press your hips down and back. Relax the space between your eyes. Check in with your breath. Then on your next exhale, walk your hands all the way over to the right. Crawl your left fingertips up 2 more inches. It's going to lengthen your left side body. Now press your left hand down and forward. Energetically drag your right hand down and back. Lower that left shoulder slightly. Now allow your hips to stay heavy toward your heels. Keep your low belly tone. Smooth out your breath. Then on your exhale, walk your hands all the way over to the left. Crawl your right fingertips up 2 more inches. That's going to lengthen your right side body. Now press from your right shoulder into your hand. Press your hand down and forward. Energetically drag your left hand down and back. Lower that right shoulder slightly. Keep your hips heavy to your heels. Tone your low belly. Check in with your breath. And on your exhale, walk your hands back to center. Press your hands down and forward, hips down and back. Tone your low belly. And on your inhale, you're going to roll over to lie down onto your back, bending your knees, bringing the soles of your feet to the floor. Now bend your right knee in towards your chest. Interlace your fingers at the muscle belly of your right hamstring. Now before you straighten your leg, first kick your leg and hands into each other. Strengthen that, then start to straighten your right leg to your capacity. Now flex your right foot back, flare your toes. Pull the outer edge of your right foot towards your face. Now you can keep your left knee bent or straighten your left leg, flex your left foot back, flare your toes, press your left thigh to or towards the floor. Keep your low belly tone. Keep kicking that leg and hands into each other. Relax your shoulders. Relax your jaw. Check in with your breath. Then on your next exhale, bend your right knee in towards your chest. Interlace your fingers at your right shin 2 inches below your knee. Now first, kick your shin and hands into each other. Then pull your right knee down and around your ribs toward your right shoulder. Keep flexing your feet, flaring your toes. Keep your low belly tone. Relax your shoulders. Relax your jaw. Check in with your breath. If your leg is shaking, that's completely normal. My leg always bobs in when we're moving pose. Then on your next inhale, reach inside your right leg with your right hand. You're going to grab the outer edge of your right foot. Start to open your right foot up towards the ceiling. You can keep your left leg straight or you can bend your left knee. Pull your right knee down and around your ribs towards the floor. It might come to the floor. If not today, maybe tomorrow. You never know. Press your foot and hand into each other. Keep your low belly tone. Relax your shoulders. Relax your jaw. Check in with your breath. If your left knee is bent, you can take your left hand and even press your left hand in between that hip crease. and press your hand away from you. Then on your exhale, release your right foot, lower it down to the mat. Now bend your left knee in towards your chest. Interlace your fingers at the muscle belly of your left hamstring. Now before you straighten your leg, first kick your leg and hands into each other. Make it strong. Then start to straighten your left leg to your capacity. Flex your foot, flare your toes, pull the outer edge of your left foot towards your face just as much as you're pulling the inner edge towards you. Now you can keep your right knee bent or straighten your right leg, flexing your right foot back. Kick your leg and hands into each other. Press your right thigh to or towards the floor. Tone your low belly. Relax your shoulders. Relax your jaw. If your leg is shaking like mine is right now, it's totally normal. Then bend your left knee in towards your chest. Interlace your fingers at your left shin 2 inches below your knee. Now pull your left knee down and around your ribs, but first kick your shin and hands into each other. Then pull it down and around your ribs. Keep flexing your feet, flaring your toes. Tone your low belly, but relax your shoulders. Notice if you're clenching your jaw. Soften your jaw, release that jaw. Soften your gaze. Then you can stay here or reach inside your left leg with your left hand. Grab the outer edge of your left foot. Your wrist will come across your ankle and start to open your left foot up towards the ceiling. You can keep your right leg straight or you can bend your knee. Pull your left knee down and around your ribs towards the floor. You can take your right hand and press it into your right thigh. Now press your foot and hand into each other. Keep your low belly tone. Relax your shoulders. Relax your jaw. Check in with your breath. Then on your exhale, release your foot, lower it down to the mat. Then roll onto the right side of your body. Come back up into that tabletop position. Bring your wrist under your shoulders, hands slightly wider, so line up the middle of your wrist with your outer shoulder. Spread your fingers wide and even. Now tuck your toes under, walk your knees back 4 inches. And you can either come into puppy pose, like this, forehead to floor, or come into downward facing dog. In this down dog, you can pedal your feet back and forth, move your armpits up, so hollow out your armpits and squeeze your biceps in towards your ears, just like we did in child's pose. Then make the action of lifting that chest, moving your upper back in, press your hips up and back. Then you can either keep a micro bend to your knees or start to root down through your big toe mount and your heels, pressing your thighs back. Then on your exhale, bend your knees 2 inches, look in between your hands, and step, hop, or walk to the front of your mat, coming into a forward fold. Now you can have your feet outer hip width apart, feet together, toes and heels touching. Do whatever feels best for your body. Bend your knees as much as you need to get all 10 fingertips to the floor, or you can use a block or books if you don't have a block. Then roll 50% of your weight towards the fronts of your feet, stacking your hips over your ankles, and that'll help you work into your hamstrings. But if you have a tight low back or very tight hamstrings, keep a micro bend to your knees. Then inhale, halfway lift, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Lift up through your chest, lift your chin. Exhale, fold. Then press into your feet. Keep that micro bend in your knees. Inhale, start to bring your torso upright. Stretch your arms up overhead. And exhale, mountain pose. So again, mountain, you can have your feet outer hip width apart, or feet together, toes and heels touching. So do whatever is best for you. Inhale, bring your arms out in front of you, parallel to the floor, palms facing each other. Then interlace your fingers to the web. Press your palms forward. Now let your inner shoulders come up. Plug your shoulders onto your back. On your next inhale, start to stretch your arms up and back. Now from your hips, press down into your feet. Tone your thighs, lift your kneecaps. Tone and turn your inner thighs back. Then you're going to engage your glutes, but don't clench your glutes as you press your tailbone forward. Now tone your low belly. Your ribs are going to want to jut, so press your ribs down and back. Lift your chin. Move your biceps up and back. Press up through that index knuckle. Remember to breathe. And exhale, mountain pose. Come to mountain at the front of your mat. Inhale, stretch your arms up overhead. Exhale, hinge at your hips. Lead with your heart. Fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold. Step back into plank pose. Now in plank, you can always lower your knees to the floor, but make sure your thighs and your hips are about a 45-degree angle so that you're not in a tabletop position, but your wrists are over your shoulders. Then on your exhale, slowly lower down. Taps of feet to the floor, hip width apart. Press into your feet. Engage your glutes. Press your pelvis down. Wrist at a 90-degree angle under your elbow. Squeeze your shoulder blades in. Inhale, cobra pose. Exhale, down dog or puppy pose. Press your hands down and forward, hips up and back. Root down through your heels. Then on your next exhale, bend your knees 2 inches. Come high onto your toes. Either step, hop, or walk to the front of your mat, coming into a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Press into your feet. Inhale, bring your torso upright. Stretch your arms up. Bring your palms to touch. Then as you exhale, hinge at your hips. Lead with your heart. Fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Step back into plank pose. Now remember, in plank, you can lower your knees or bring your heels over your toe mounds, shoulders over your wrist. Lift your ribs up, lift your thighs up. Look 4 to 6 inches in front of you to keep your head in line with your shoulders. Then exhale, lower down. Taps of feet to the floor, either together or hip width apart. Wrist at a 90-degree angle under your elbows. Engage your glutes. Squeeze your shoulders back. Inhale, cobra pose. Exhale, down dog or puppy pose. And on your next exhale, bend your knees, come high onto your toes, press your hips up and back. Look forward in between your hands. Either step, hop, or walk to the front of your mat, coming into a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Press into your feet. Inhale, bring your torso upright. Stretch your arms up overhead. Exhale, mountain pose. One more time. Inhale, stretch your arms up overhead. Exhale, hinge at your hips, lead with your heart, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Step back into plank pose. Look 4 to 6 inches in front of you. Lift your thighs up, lift your ribs up. Exhale, slowly lower. Inhale, cobra pose. Exhale, down dog or puppy pose. Remember, it's always what's best for you. Then on your exhale, bend your knees 2 inches. Look in between your hands and step, hop, or walk to the front of your mat. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Press down into your feet. Inhale, start to bring your torso upright. Stretch your arms up overhead. Exhale, mountain pose. All right, let's come to mountain at the front of your mat. Bring your hands to your hips. Now bring all of your weight onto your left leg. Tone your thigh, lift your kneecap. Bring your right foot either to your ankle, to your calf, or reach down inside your leg and bring it to the root of your left inner thigh. Then bring your hands to heart center. Now from your left hip, press down, flare your left toes. Press your right foot into your leg, glue them together. And from your inner right groin, press your right knee out and away. From your outer right knee, you're gonna pull up and in. Press your tailbone forward. Lift your chest. Stay here or grow your tree. Stretch up through your fingertips, woo, and you might fall. You'll just laugh and hop right back in because it's yoga. Stretch up through your fingertips. Root down into your standing leg. Squeeze your shoulder blades in. Lift your chin. Then bring your hands to heart center. Lower your foot to the floor. Mountain pose. Bring your hands to your hips. Bring all of your weight onto your right leg. Tone your thigh, lift your kneecap. Now bring your left foot either to your ankle, to your calf, or reach down inside your leg and bring it to the root of your right inner thigh. Then bring your hands to heart center. Now remember, from your right hip, press into your standing leg. Tone your thigh, lift your kneecap. Glue your foot and leg into each other. And from your inner left groin, press your knee down and away. From your outer left knee, pull up and into your hip. Now press your tailbone forward. Tone your low belly. Stay here or grow your tree. Stretch up through your fingertips as you root down through your standing leg. Stretching in opposite directions can help balance. Squeeze your shoulder blades in. Lift your chin. Now bring your hands to heart center. Lower your foot to the floor. Mountain pose. Then take a wide stance. So wide stance will be ankles under your wrist. Heels are the widest point. Your big toes point straight ahead. So you'll turn your heels out just ever so slightly. Now turn your right toes out 90 degrees. Make sure your front heel's in line with the middle of your back arch or your back heel. Then on your exhale, as you press into your left foot, bend your right knee over your right ankle, coming into warrior two. Now look down at your right knee. Make sure it's in line with your third toe or the outer edge of your foot so that your knee is not tracking in. Then press your tailbone down. From your left hip, slam into your left foot. Press that left thigh back. Then you're going to scoop your right glutes down and towards your right heel. Then lift your chest. Squeeze your shoulder blades in. Stretch out through your fingertips. Inhale, straighten your front knee. Turn your right toes in. And turn your left toes out. Now make sure that front heel's in line with the middle of your back arch or your back heel. Press into your right foot, so really slam into that right foot. Bend your left knee over your left ankle. Make sure your left knee is in line with your third toe or the outer edge of your foot. Slam into your right foot, press that right thigh back. Scoop your left glutes down and towards your left heel. Pull your belly button to your spine, lift your chest. Even here, press your ribs down and back. Squeeze your shoulder blades in. Relax your gaze. Inhale, straighten your front knee. Turn your left toes in. Turn your right toes out. If you have a block and you know you want one for triangle, grab it. Make sure your front heel's in line with the middle of your back arch or back heel. Now press down into your feet. Stretch up out of your waist. Move move your right hip back. Reach your right hand forward. Bring your right hand either to your shin, to a block, or to the floor under your shoulder. Now if your hand is to your shin, little to no weight on that hand. Squeeze your feet in to fire up those inner thighs. Then from your hips, press your feet down and apart. Press down through the ball of that front foot. Squeeze your inner thighs in as you press your tailbone forward. Then as you exhale, tone and twist. Don't use your hips or shoulders. Use your spine to tone and twist from your bottom right ribs open. Stretch your head away from your hips. Remember to breathe. Then inhale. Slowly bring your torso upright. Turn your right toes in. Turn your left toes out. Now make sure your heel's in line with the middle of your back arch or your back heel. Press into your feet as you stretch up out of your waist. Move that left hip back. Reach your left hand forward. Bring your left hand to your shin, to a block, or to the floor under your shoulder. Now squeeze your heels in. You'll feel your inner thighs fire up. Then from your hips, press your feet down and apart. Tone your thighs, lift your kneecaps. Press your tailbone forward. Use your spine, not your shoulders or hips. Tone and twist from your left ribs open. Squeeze your shoulder blades in. Keep that bottom shoulder active. Stretch your head away from your hips. Check in with your breath. Then inhale. Slowly bring your torso upright. Turn your left toes in. Step or hop your feet together. Hands at heart center. And bring your hands to your hips. Bring half moon pose. So if you know you want to block for half moon, or if you have a book or even a water bottle to bring the floor closer to you, grab it. Bring your hands to your hips. Turn your right toes out 90 degrees. Now bend your knees as much as you need to bring your right hand a foot and out to the right 2 inches in front of your right foot. Inhale, lift your back leg up. Flex your foot, flare your toes. Now start to tone and twist your abdomen open, stacking your hips and shoulders. You can stay here or float that left arm vertical. Look down for balance. Look up to challenge your balance. Root into your standing leg. Press your tailbone forward. Squeeze your shoulder blades in. Stretch your head and your foot in opposite directions. Remember to breathe. And bring your hand to your hip. Lower your left foot down. Inhale, come into mountain pose. Bring your right hand to your hip. Turn your left toes out 90 degrees. Now bend your knees as much as you need to. Bring your left hand a foot in front of your left foot and out to the left 2 inches. Then inhale, lift that back leg up. Flex your foot, flare your toes. Now you can stay here, start to tone and twist your abdomen open. Maybe float that right arm vertical. Keep rooting into your standing leg. Press your tailbone forward. Tone your low belly. Squeeze your shoulder blades in. Stretch your head away from your foot. Check in with your breath. And bring your hand to your hip. Lower your foot to the floor. Whew, my hips felt that. Mountain pose. Bring your hands to heart center. Bend your knees. Lift your chest. Step or hop it open. Wide stance. All right. Last 2 standing poses. Woohoo! Bring your ankles under your wrists. Heels are the widest point. Big toes point straight ahead. Now turn your right toes out 90 degrees. Make sure that front heel's in line. The middle of your back arch or back heel. Bend your right knee over your right ankle. Make sure that front knee is in line with your third toe. Flip your right palm up towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, reverse your warrior. Bring your left hand either to your thigh, to your calf, or you can reach your arm behind your waist. But little to no weight on that hand. Keep bending into that front knee. From your right armpit, stretch up through your right fingertips. Lift your chest and breathe. Inhale into warrior two. Straighten your front knee. Turn your right toes in. Turn your left toes out. Again, make sure your front heel's in line with the middle of your back arch or your back heel. Bend your left knee over your left ankle. Now make sure that left knee is in line with your third toe. Flip your left palm up and exhale, reverse your warrior. Do whatever variation feels best for you. So hand to thigh, to calf, or arm behind your waist. Press into that right foot to bend into your left knee. Lift your chest from your left armpit. Stretch up through your left fingertips. And again, breathe. Notice if you're tensing. Soften. Inhale into warrior two. Straighten your front knee. Turn your left toes in. Now bring your hands to your hips. Make sure your heels are the widest point of your stance. Now squeeze your heels in or squeeze your feet in. You'll feel your inner thighs fire up. Press into your hips. Tone your thighs. Lift your kneecaps. Inhale, stretch up out of your waist. As you exhale, hinge at your hips. Lead with your heart. Fold forward. Bring your hands under your shoulders. Now inhale first, do a cow pose in your chest. Lift your chest, lift your chin. Roll your weight towards the fronts of your feet. Squeeze your feet towards each other. Tone your thighs, lift your kneecaps. You can stay here. You're in a really good place right here. Or walk your hands back. Fingertips in line with your toes. You can stay here, chest lifted. Or start to fold forward. Now keep rolling weight towards the fronts of your feet. Press your hands down and forward, feet down and back. Tone your thighs, lift your kneecaps. If your head's to the floor, squeeze your shoulders away from your ears. If it's not, let your shoulders relax. That'll help to lengthen your spine. Then walk your hands under your shoulders. Bring a micro bend to your knees. Bring your hands to your hips. Inhale. Bring your torso upright. Step or half your feet together. Hands at heart center. And come to mountain at the front of your mat. Inhale, stretch your arms up overhead. Exhale, hinge at your hips. Lead with your heart. Fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Step back into plank pose. Last one. Lower all the way down to the floor. You're going to roll on to the left side of your body for endless pose or Vishnu's couch. So crawl your left arm forward. That's going to lengthen your left side body. Then bend your left elbow. Prop your head up onto your hand. You can pretend it's 1995. We're taking senior pictures. Ha! Now make sure your elbow's in line with your shoulder. Make sure your ankles, knees, hips, shoulders are in line. You can stay here. You might be wobbling back and forth already. Totally fine. Or bend your right knee in towards you. Reach inside your right leg with your right hand. Grab onto the outer edge of your foot or your big toe. Thumbs over your fingernails. Now point your right knee straight up. Stay here or start to straighten your right leg to your capacity. Flex your feet, flare your toes. Keep your low belly tone. Press your tailbone forward. Breathe. Then bend your knee. Lower your leg down. You're going to come on to your right side. I'll just flip this way so my back isn't to you. You're going to crawl your right fingertips out. So really lengthen that right side body first. Then bend your elbow. Prop yourself up onto your hand. Elbows in line with your shoulders. ankles, hips, shoulders in line. You can stay here. You might wobble back and forth or even roll backwards, in which case you'll just laugh and roll right back up. Bend your left knee, reach inside your left leg, grab onto the outer edge of your foot or your big toe. Now kick your hand and foot into each other. Point your left knee straight up. Stay here, or start to straighten your left leg to your capacity. It's totally fine if there's a micro bend to your knee. Keep flexing your feet, flaring your toes. Press your tailbone forward. Press your toe and fingers together. Breathe. And bend your knee. Lower your leg. And roll over to lie down onto your back. It's not Shavasana, but we're almost there. Bend your knees. Bring the soles of your feet to the floor. Now bring your right ankle across your left knee. Flex your right foot back. Kick that ankle and knee into each other. Press your right knee away from you. You're going to feel those outer right hip fire up. This might be enough for you, so you can stay here. Or bend your left knee in towards your chest. Reach through your legs and interlace your fingers at the muscle belly of your left hamstring or your left shin. Now keep flexing your feet, flaring your toes. Kick your ankle and knee into each other. Press that right knee away from you. Squeeze your heels towards your hips. Tone your low belly. Relax your shoulders. Roll half an inch to the left. And exhale, slowly release. Lower your left foot down. You'll switch sides. Bring your left ankle across your right knee. Flex your left foot back, flare your toes. Now kick your ankle and knee into each other. Press your left knee away from you. You might feel enough right here, so you can stay here or bend your right knee in towards your chest. Reach through your legs and interlace your fingers at the muscle belly of your right hamstring or your right shin. Sukhi Randrasana, eye of the needle. Now keep kicking your ankle and knee into each other. Press your left knee away from you. Squeeze your heels towards your glutes. Flex your feet. Flare your toes. Now keep your low belly toned. Soften your shoulders. Roll half an inch to your right. Connect with your breath. And exhale, slowly release. Lower your feet down to the mat. And bend your right knee in towards your chest. Interlace your fingers at the muscle belly of your right hamstring. Again, before you straighten your leg, first kick your leg into your hands. Then straighten your leg to your capacity to add that strength. Flex your feet, flare your toes. You can keep your left knee bent or straighten your left leg. Relax your shoulders. Notice how this feels now compared to the first time in class. Bend your right knee so that it's parallel to the floor. Bring your right arm out to the side. Bring your left hand outside your right knee. And as you exhale, roll onto your left hip, but keep that right shoulder rooted to the floor. Don't let it lift. Flex your feet, flare your toes. From inside your stomach, imagine you're turning your torso from the left to the right. Look up or look over your right shoulder. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, lower your right leg down. Bend your knees in towards your chest. Interlace your fingers at the muscle belly of your left hamstring. And then before you straighten your leg, kick your leg and hands into each other. Then straighten your left leg to your capacity. Flex your foot, flare your toes. You can keep your right knee bent or straighten your right leg, flexing your right foot back. Keep kicking your leg and hands together. Tone your low belly. Relax your shoulders. And bend your left knee. Bring your left arm out to the side. Bring your right hand outside your left knee. Roll onto your right hip. Now keep your left shoulder rooted towards the floor. From inside your stomach, turn your torso from the right to the left. Either look up or look over your right or your left shoulder. And inhale, come back up through center. Bend your knees in towards your chest. Grab onto your shins. Give yourself a big full squeeze in. Now when you're ready, open up into your Shavasana. Take any additional movements your body might be craving. Use any props to support your body. I love bringing blocks under my thighs, or if you have books, close to my glutes. It supports my low back. Relax your toes. Relax your feet. Relax your ankles. Relax your fingers. Relax your hands. Relax your wrists. Release your shoulders away from your ears. Soften your jaw. And remove the tongue away from the roof of your mouth. Relax your eyes. Let your brain be heavy. Allow your body to receive your practice. Allow your heart to receive your practice. Start to slowly and gently deepen your breath. Wiggle your fingers, your toes, bringing gentle movements back to your body. Gently rock your head side to side. And one at a time, bend your knees. Bring the soles of your feet to the floor. Stretch your right arm up overhead and roll onto the right side of your body. Keeping your eyes and your hips heavy, roll forward slightly and press yourself up to a comfortable seat facing forward. Take a moment to honor your body. Honor your body for all the ways it supports you. Take a moment to see and recognize your effort. Remember that your effort never goes wasted and no gains are ever lost in this practice. Honoring yourself, honoring each other, honoring this practice and all those that paved the way before us. May you be safe, may you be happy, may you be healthy, may you know kindness, may you know peace, may you know love. Namaste. Thank you all for practicing. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your Friday and a great weekend. and I will see you around. Have a great day.